We can fix that.
Free link.
We'll put some mats in the budget for the floor. For deadlifts, drops.
We're live. You should
I can go.
know to you.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the rec meeting, 7 o'clock. Everybody's present, except for one that's unavailable. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is what, 7:01. Is there any declaration of peculiar interest? Okay, seeing none. I'd like to have acceptance of the agenda. Ron and Shelley. All in favor, unanimous. We'll move right on. Like to see if we could get acceptance of the previous minutes. I don't have any with me, so. Well, do we have any of the old minutes or no? Okay. I'll quickly pass them around, and if there's anything in there that sticks out, let us know. Would you guys like to make it? Person Shelley will accept it. And we'll have a vote in a second here. All those in favor of the minutes? Unanimous? Oh,
The universe chose for me to have COVID instead.
yes. Okay. The business items from previous meetings. The first one on that one is the bottle and update. Will, Shelley, and Andrew have more input on that.
So our last bottle drive, we brought in 452.50. So we had some younger volunteers that come out and help. Do you remember?
Yeah, we had the three boys, Jacob,
Riley,
Jacob.
Yeah.
And then Cal came out
and Shelley.
and Shelley
yourself.
came out. And Christopher. Yeah, I will say that this time around it was easier, much easier. We pulled both dumps and did both dumps in an hour and a half full.
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah. And it was easier. And that was zero sorting for, like, coming to the sorting spot, we had zero done.
Probably try to get it in the next week or so before Christmas, and then hopefully we'll get through the Christmas holidays.
Is there any input for putting up a schedule to make so that everybody has a kick at the cat at this? Going and pick it up and clean it?
I think that'll make life simpler if we put together something where at least if everybody picks up 2 weeks or 2 dumps, the whole year will be taken care of. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's not hard. And with what's going on at the dumps right now, it's getting easier. Like it really is not as. So we can get people to sign up, that would make life a whole lot simpler. And then it doesn't feel like it falls on the same people all the time.
I think you just, when you guys get the new chair, make a schedule and everybody will have a kick at that cat.
You'd also talked about having a schedule of when it'd be easier at the stores too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Figuring out that schedule might help them figure out a schedule for people to be available.
Yeah, the winter's not so bad. It's the summer that becomes a challenge.
Mhm.
Like to dump, to bring it all, I can only speak for our store, right? So to bring it all at like a Saturday at 11 o'clock, that's just, but there's always times around it to get around it.
Me and Kathy have done it on a Saturday and I may not take it in till Monday because it sits on my trailer. If I don't need it, then I can let it sit for a day or two until things slow down.
Yeah.
And how do you spread it out? One dump to one store?
I try the best, but sometimes if I'll call if they're busy, I'll go to South Shore. And if South Shore is busy, like I went in there one day and they were shorthanded. We only have one person. Don't worry about it. I'll come back tomorrow. Well, I have 2 on tomorrow, so come back first thing in the morning.
If there's notice, we can make it happen, no matter what. We make sure there's a staff member around. And we'll put one of our staff on it
Yeah. And
to
like,
help. Anyway.
like when me and Kathy usually do it, it's all counted. It's all sorted. It's just, here it is. Here's a sheet.
Mm. Yeah, we don't do that.
No. When you're involved, it's both landfills because we haven't had time to do it. Is there anything else in the bottle drive? What, do you have a roughly total what we raised last year? A guesstimate?
I want to say it was just over 2. That sound about right?
Mhm.
3. I was trying to remember. We had 2 or so. We'll have one for first meeting in January.
Yeah, it's a lot of money we get from it. Like
It's a program I really don't want to lose.
Yeah.
Because it generates money for the kids and stuff, so. Or maybe we can use it for some seniors events or,
You looking at me?
no,
Okay.
I'm looking in the mirror.
Okay.
No. Okay. Do we have any more discussion with the bottle drive? If not, we'll move on to Winter Carnival. But we'll have to wait on that. Because the organizer's not here.
Is that the one you usually have around Family Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there have been, if we weren't here, there's been some discussions about maybe having a municipal chili off between the fire department, public works, other local municipalities. If they wish to join, maybe the mayors would do a final to see who made the best chili.
Or somebody else?
Somebody was saying that, here's a suggestion that came in. Somebody was saying that you walk in the door and you're saying, I'm gonna have a chili. So you pay, let's say you pay $10 and you get chili from every vendor, so
Yeah.
every municipal. So you might get a small bowl from each one, right?
Yeah.
And then they vote, they take Should have made a vote. We Put it in which one they like the most, and then it's totally up to the
Sounds good.
community.
That, reason I suggested the mayor's was because it'll be blind.
Yeah.
They have no idea who made what.
Yeah.
And then. But we'll leave it.
I think if we're deferring it to a meeting that's 5 weeks ahead of time. I think
Hmm.
that's gonna miss every advertising window we're gonna have to get anything planned. I think we need to decide at least if we're doing it or not doing something on Family Day, even if we don't have the full specifics of what we're doing.
So I'll add to a little bit of this, which might throw a little bit of a wrench in it. We have been given the services of Roots, so the Roots have offered to come out to the store to spend a day with the kids in the community on Family Day. We had a discussion within our family and said that instead of them coming to the store and spending the day at the store, we asked them if they'd be willing to go over to the township event, and they will come to the township instead. If we want to include it. If we don't want to include that, then we'll move the Hooters to a different time. So they're willing to go and spend time with kids. They can't skate with them, but they can play soccer, or they can play, ball with them or something and just have fun with kids. So it's up to us whether we want to do it and include it. We just have to give them enough notice to tell them where they're going.
Family Day would be a good day for that, only because they're done by the end of March.
Yeah.
And then the no ride is nothing.
Yes.
February is right in the middle of the season and everything like that.
So Family Day is, I think, usually a Monday, is it not?
It's the 13th of February, yes.
So if you did your carnival kind of thing, so that maybe on the Saturday, that would be your chili day.
Well, it would all
And
be
then-
part of the carnival, right?
Yeah, it'd all be part of carnival, but you gotta have everything exactly on the same day. Right? And then maybe on the Sunday or whatever, you could have carnival and say, and just put a list of events. And then
Trying to fill 3 days of things in 2 months is pushing. I think if we call it all on the Monday when everybody's off on their holidays, I think
Yeah,
just have everything one day.
that is the only day on that week that the Hooters are available.
Yeah.
There are games on both sides. So
Yeah.
they're literally coming into town and they're gonna come in.
Yeah.
And take part, in whatever. we
Family Day
decide.
will be February 20th.
Is it 20?
Yeah, 26. Yeah, and I think the original plan was Steph was gonna organize an event during the day portion, and then we were still gonna continue on with our
Skating.
Skating and fire, that's all one thing.
We're gonna use the chili kind of as the transition point so that people weren't leaving and going home and just a quick, easy dinner, right?
I think it'd be a great way to do it. You just have to make the decision about where it's gonna be. Like, is it gonna be chili gonna be here, or is chili gonna be over there?
It's gotta be here.
I think you do your afternoon stuff here and you do your evening stuff over there and transition your chili between the two.
Do we maybe try and hold another meeting somewhere to try and nail down carnival? Is that an option?
Well, we can also correspond a bit over email. We can just all email each other. We still have one more meeting in between, but
We have two.
Two more meetings,
Okay, so two.
probably
Yes.
three.
Steph was.
Oh,
taking-
no, we're December.
Steph was taking the lead on that, so I mean, I'm not gonna speak on her behalf when she's the one doing it, so.
But you can put it in coming events,
Mhm.
Family Day, the 20th, and you don't have to specify.
Yeah. But I believe for sure goal is this family skate night. That's really an easy one. to
That's easy.
Take care of.
The drum, I think Sean got us the drums last
Okay.
year,
Well, it was a rim line, this year we'll have to use a drum or something.
or the rims.
Yeah, we'll use a drum this year. Be a lot easier.
Do we have to
We'll
find
get
them.
some- we'll get some.
I can get some firewood. I got some at the house, so that's not an issue. Okay. You want to move on to the kids' Christmas then?
We'll just, oh, sorry, we'll just maybe we'll reach out to Home Hardware also and see if they want to participate again with their popcorn machine on that night at the skate.
Yeah.
And then as far as hot chocolate, that was pretty simple to have going like we did last year.
Or if you just put that in the skating rink like we did
Yeah,
last year.
yeah.
And it just.
Yeah.
Because it was Liz that took care of it last year, but we'll figure it out, put it together.
Yeah. And
I think we just
the
big
crafts over
urns,
here.
yeah, the big urns
Yeah,
here.
so we'll just,
No problem.
I can always go grab a big thing of hot chocolate and donate it for the night. That's fine.
It's a one container Nestle Quick, right?
Yeah.
You make the chocolate milk with?
It's actually what we did. Yeah, she brought us 2 containers and I mixed it up and put it all together.
Yeah, that's all. We'll do. Yeah.
And then we just had marshmallows and just the small styrofoam cups.
Okay, Christmas run. No, the fire department has graciously wrapped everything. I'm not exactly sure who got the presents this year, but we gotta thank Santa Claus. And they're working on a schedule for a route. It'll be on Facebook when you get ready. I'm assuming, well,
Yeah, so just a little back history here and a little bit of info. We had 97 kids sign up, roughly 51 families. We're looking at a start time of 8:30 on Saturday morning. We're gonna try to group, so we try to group them, so we get a morning and afternoon. That's about as quick, as easy as we found, I believe, Andrew, was easiest.
Yeah.
We're still looking for some ideas for family stuff. So each child will get a gift and then each family gets a family present. But we do have some extra wiggle room. So we're looking for some other ideas of stuff to put in the bags. If anybody has ideas, that'd be great.
So what are we thinking right now in the bags? Well, do we have any, like popcorn?
There was popcorn discussed, so that's gonna be some public education information. There's a couple other little things. I don't recall on top of my head.
Yeah, so I think maybe we'll go grab some
Pardon me?
we can go grab some boxes of hot chocolate. I think we did that last year as well. The packages of hot chocolate in with it.
We want to put the packages of hot chocolate. Some of you are aware of this, some of you aren't, but I own a hair salon in Blossom. And I would gladly donate that if you'd like to do that.
Yeah, the bag should be in Wednesday. So the fire department ordered smoke alarm bags. To get the message of we're working smoke and seal alarms. So we'll just put all the small stuff into that. So we weren't sure if we should go with a movie, family movie, book. Anybody else has some ideas?
I'm
Are
assuming
you
I
thinking
didn't,
more of a line, of like going to buy books for them, or are we going more hot chocolate, popcorn, something else?
what about candy canes is normal?
No, we got, yeah,
You-
candy canes, but Santa hands out the candy canes. Or the elf from Santa. Depends on how busy Santa is. In his rocking chair.
Like something along the lines of Twas the Night Before Christmas or something, those books that you can put in the family bag.
Yeah, we did the books,
Yeah.
not last year, the year before, we did a Christmas book for each family. Last year we did the movie, it was Arthur Christmas for each family.
It's either that or a family game, like a game.
That's already
That's what we
done.
got this year. This one.
It's already done.
Yeah, because the year before that, we did the game.
So you think if you've got the game
So
and
somebody-
you've got the hot chocolate and you've got popcorn and you've got
Present.
the present.
Someone suggested maybe trying to find something to get the families outside. But I'm not sure.
I'll look up some ideas and see what.
And firefighters are thinking about it as well, so between everybody, hopefully we get some more ideas.
And you said 53,
One family.
51? So maybe even some like, go to the dollar store, buy some spray bottles and include even some food coloring, packets of food coloring, so we can go paint the snow inside.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Any ideas like that would be great. The elves and the Grinch and Sparky all went around on the weekend and took pictures. Callista and Hayden and Jordan, Joe, and Andrew's wife Kim all went out Saturday and took pictures. So we got mostly all the pictures of our sponsors. We have a couple more pictures to do. So you should be seeing them on Facebook every day. If I'm on the ball. Because none of this can be done without our great sponsors. And I reached out to the media as well. So we'll see if they will try to track us down this weekend.
Nice. Yeah, there's some people that really stepped up for sure.
Yeah, it's great with our sponsors. We have great community and great support. Huge amount of kids this year, so should be lots of fun.
Yeah, it's 30 more than last.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we had to turn a couple away too, just because we had everything done. And yeah, unfortunately, it was last minute. So
Okay. Anything else for kids Christmas? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Says grand opportunity.
So we received a grant opportunity. Chris and I are going to work on it hopefully this week, if not early next week. We have until middle of January, but we believe the benches, tables, garbage cans and stuff will fall into this grant. So we'll be hopefully applying for that, see if we can get some picnic tables and benches. And
Did we ever come to a consortium, what we're gonna show the councils?
I have 3 different copies of various catalogs. If anybody wants to have a boo at them.
Excellent, yes. So hopefully Chris and I can match our schedules up probably next week. But we will get that ready to go and show the committee, and then we'll take it to council for approval and submit it.
We have time to do that. But you said mid-January is when it's.
Middle of January, I believe it was.
What was the amount that they were?
I can't quite remember, sorry.
That's fine.
I've been trying to work on stuff
Yeah.
that's imminent rate. But we will have it in.
Okay. So on that, we'll have to come, we'll have to get a consortium on what. If we're going plastic or wood or metal or. For the benches, for the or in the garbage cans, if we're going with bare bins or whatever, we'll have to have that all settled.
Yeah, you probably see some emails coming through.
All right. So on the budget,
Okay, so it's budget season, so we're looking for some input. So I'm hoping everybody, so we look after the community center, the fitness center, Links Beach, Wolf Lake, the rink, the park, the boat docks, the boat ramp, and the parking lot down Nag Road. So the community center, we're looking to see what you would like to see in the budget or anything for the community center changes. Anything like that?
for the community center, it was always been for me, new tables.
Paint the ceiling.
Oh, yeah, just change those things. You still have our list from the previous times we discussed this?
Yep, we're just looking to see.
The tables, get something lighter, because you only have one person setting them up and tearing them down.
One of the other suggestion was new blinds.
Trying to find some kind of awareness, to bring more awareness to it, to make sure people understand it's available.
To put some advertising.
Yeah, like advertising. The number of people that don't realize. they can use it, it's crazy.
Are we looking at the other side of the budget of how much we want to rent out the community center and things for as well?
So
I
I
know-
think that will be, if it's okay with the committee, we'll bring that up probably in January's meeting. If that works for everybody. Like some of the stuff we, like the heat, the hydro, all that, it's just automatically gets calculated. The one thing that we're gonna have to look at for capital will probably be replacing the roof on the fire hall and community center. So we're getting some figures for both of them. A lot of the nails, so the community center roof is held in with screws and nails. So a lot of the nails are popping out, screws are starting to twist. We got holes in a few of the spots. That's been fixed over the years. And
Is it a metal roof up there?
half's metal, this side's metal, the fire hall shingles. So,
You know, there's quite a few shingles missing off the fire site. And that's not a very old roof.
okay.
I think if we go roof, they gotta come together and do it all one, not half and half. Is there anything in the kitchen that's,
You said that steam table still there?
Well, Steve table worked amazingly. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Our suggestion will be the two hood vents over top of the stoves. They've been noted that sometimes they work and sometimes they don't.
And you proved that the dishwashers are working fine at the last event, so that's all working fine. The fridges are all good.
Yeah.
There's really nothing except for the vents in the kitchen.
yes, we'll move on then to the fitness center and
So the fitness center, we are down one treadmill. So it was taken out of service. So right now we have 3 operating ones. So we will, if board continues, we'll run look for another one to run with 4. We've always ran with 4, but
Can you do that survey and see what the people that use it want or need or? Because there's no point me making a decision for them that is no good.
Yeah, like I said before, I think we just put a paper up on the wall, just write thoughts.
Yeah, what's necessary or what's missing and what we could use.
I think if you went beyond just that, you could use it as a marketing tool though of, what would you like to see in the community? Oh, by the way, we already have these things here. Because I don't think a lot of people know what the fitness center is necessarily here in the community, especially after COVID and all the new people that are in the area. So trying to like toy it as, what would you like to see? Oh yeah, we already have some of this, but thanks for other parts of the input might help generate something.
Yeah, we went in if I maybe put on a recreation flyer on its own rather than just kind of with everything else. Rather than just one half page or a half page of our annual semiannual flyers that get put in for the township, maybe a recreational one that says the services that we offer. Did you know that this is available?
So there's, in the last newsletter, there was a full page of pretty much what we have in there and what we don't have in there and the cost of it and everything. So I mean, if they are residents are reading the newsletter, they'll know that our fitness center is available. So
We can go on our
and
app.
keeping on with the trend, we've been adding $5,000 into reserves for the community center building and 10,000 in for community center reserves. And that's been put on the 10-year capital to continue on with those two. Now, some of the machines need a little bit of attention, but that's just more maintenance. A couple of handles are broken, so we're trying to get new ones. Little things like that.
I know the fire department has a website. Does the township, not a website, but a
Oh, Facebook page.
Facebook page, that's the word I'm looking for.
The township does as well.
Do they? Maybe they can run a thing in there. Memberships available or an advertisement for that.
I mean, this is the prime time when everybody wants their January 1st
Exactly.
resolution to get them in.
Don't know what you mean.
New Year's resolutions. It's kind of, it's prime time to say we're gonna get fat free for 5 minutes and then quit for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Buy
be
the
some
membership and
drunk.
it doesn't get used.
You'd have to be some drunk to do that. Okay. We'll move on to Lynx Beach.
So at Lynx Beach, we're looking at the change room outhouse has to be taken down. They're in bad state, and we're looking at putting porta johns in. So we'll have them for the 3 months that the beaches are open. They'll get cleaned and then removed. They get cleaned and everything, the beaches every year. So I'm not sure if there's much there. Unless you guys have some ideas or anything you'd like to see at either of the beaches.
They are going with larger ones though, right?
We've requested larger.
Yeah.
The change room ones.
Yeah, okay.
And we requested one for the park as well. They just didn't have any remaining this year, so.
Okay.
Okay. At Lynx Beach, if we tear that down, where they be able to make parking there?
We're hoping get a few parking spots there.
Because that's one of the biggest hangups always is that one, there's no place to park. Okay, Wolf Lake. Is that the same thing? Well,
That's the same.
tear down the buildings. Or John's. Okay. The rink. Has anybody been gone and give us what they need to do there for repairs this year to make it usable?
We've already done them.
Yeah, so done, the boards have been fixed up and all ready to go. We still have our strategic plan, so we're still looking for the grant opportunities and stuff, so we still have all that.
Got your new water pump.
The water, yeah, the water pump. There was a posting out for a new caretaker or that's,
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
which closed on Friday, so I'm not sure if we did get any in. Oh, we got 2 in. But unfortunately, can't start making ice until we see some cold weather, so.
Now for the rink, do we, in order for these grants, do we have to have some drawings done? Or to, like, would that help out our grant opportunities? Like, so do we maybe look into hiring somebody to do up a drawing of what we'd like? So that way it's already in place and we can just submit that every time the grant comes up.
And I'd almost expand that to like the whole park with like landscape architect. kind
Yeah,
of
I'm not,
Setup of where do we want everything? You know, it sounds like we've got the benches and things already taking place, but like we've got the park end, we know what we want there, where do we want
yeah,
to have different things? I mean,
I know our biggest expense is gonna be that rink, so
Mhm.
if we can be just ready for any grant that pops up that we can submit an already engineered or the drawing that's already done and be like, here, this was our plan.
Okay,
What can we get money for this?
if I understand correctly, they'll have to have a building permit. And you'll have to have, how do they say that, ground testing or, so if you buy, say, one of the prefab buildings, it comes pre-engineered, pre-done, but it doesn't count the stuff under the ground and that all has to be engineered. And say how big a footing and how big, how deep and what material has to be under there, so. It is a little bit expensive, but you may have to get it to the point where it's shovel ready. And then if you do get a grant, then you can say, we've already done our engineering, here's what we want.
Are you looking at doing this in steps?
Yes, I would think so, because depending on the size of the grant and
Yeah, so that's the dependence. So if we can get somebody to have the drawing ready to have the rink, a roof, boards, everything basically drawn out, the size we want. So that way, when a grant does come up, there is grants that have popped up where everything's been able to get covered as far as dollar wise. That way we're prepared for the whole thing to be able to get done. But also depending on, if we have to do the stages, at least we already have it in place to get the ground dug concrete poured, go concrete wise. That way it's already written up on how we were doing it and how much footage we need below ground done.
get the full vision out there. of
Yeah.
What's happening and whether you build 5%, 10%, 100%, whatever it is, you know where you're going to be in 10 years or whatever it is to.
Because these grants spontaneously come up where you only have a short timeline to have something ready. So that way you can kind of be ahead of the game.
So have you decided whether you go, has this committee looked at, we're gonna do concrete, we're gonna do pavement?
we kind of ballparked it. The last one that we applied a grant was concrete with a roof, basically a roof over top.
You ballpark something between 250 and 500,000?
I think without the roof, what did we say without the roof? We're looking at a minimum 130.
I think the groundwork was gonna be roughly
The
130.
groundwork was gonna be 130.
And that was just an estimate from Dan.
And that was
Yeah,
an estimate.
That's what I mean. We've never actually had somebody come in and give a full costing. And I think that's what we need is an actual costing number associated with each thing. And then that way we have, yes, there's going to be inflation between years, but at least we can account for a starting point of what we have. Because we want to make it, the goal was that we all talked about was making it a multi-use.
One of our neighbors did it and they were around the 200 for the groundwork and concrete. Concrete's gone way up.
Concrete through the roof. But
Was
that kind of stuff,
Just the groundwork and the concrete,
Groundwork, concrete, yeah,
and then the roof was,
separate.
separate on top of
The boards. and-
Yeah.
So you always have to do the groundwork first, the concrete, then boards, then you can do the roof, and then.
And see, the nice part about if we did it in stages, so we built the rink the size that we want it. And then afterwards, the building can get made larger then, so we can expand on the footings for outside of it, so we don't have to touch the groundwork that was already in place for the rink.
so do you know how big the rink is, or that you want it?
I think it was 60 by 120.
Yeah, we're going back to original
Back
size.
to original size. At some point somewhere, they shrunk the rink in. So go back to its original venue, its original size.
80 by 200.
It was something around there, yeah.
I never cost the building out. I just stated the starting point.
Yeah, I think there was, when we originally first started talking, it was let's get the groundwork done,
Yeah.
and then let's get the boards up. And if we can get the groundwork done, the boards up, and we don't get a roof for a couple of years, then we don't get a roof for a couple of years.
Yeah.
It won't, like, it's not gonna be the be all and end all, right? But
Yeah.
the talk was also, do we go out to the community, do we go to the local businesses and say, do you want to support us and put up a board and advertise? And maybe we can get it. No cost. We won't. Cheaper. So for what our local businesses do now, and we see it with the Christmas run, I could see them possibly putting up a board.
So I think we still have to go back to, like, we should have that 10-year vision of when that roof is gonna be there, just so that we know where we're aiming towards. Even, I don't expect we're gonna ever do this in one or even two shots, but we should know what that full vision of that
Yeah.
park is gonna be, so that we can plan towards it. When we start to approach people for boards and things, you can say like, hey, we have a plan for this beautiful park to be multi-use facility, you're gonna see it every day kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
here's our drawing that
Yeah.
is ready to go.
Yeah.
We just need funding for it.
Do you ever have numbers? Because one of the things that's gonna go with this grant is they're gonna ask you for estimated usage. So do you have numbers of how many people use that rink? You know, just like we can give them numbers of how many people use museum in a year. Do you have anything, you know, to substantiate? Because I know that'll be one thing that they're gonna say, we're not gonna put a rink up for 20 kids. You know, do you have 200, do you have 400, do you have, you know? That'll just be, you know, one of their questions, and I don't know if you have an answer.
I don't know if we have an answer, but if we had it got to the cement floor that we were planning to put pickleball in there for seniors. It's just a matter of drawing some lines, a basketball net, where that kind of stuff it really isn't doable now.
Right, so that opens up
It-
to 4 seasons.
Yeah,
Yes.
open it
Kind of like
up.
the park, like it's something that didn't exist, but we got the grant for the park. Just by, you know, because we didn't have it. right?
Like if we ever got a roof for it, farmer's market or something like that on a Saturday, we
Well,
would
that's also-
outshine a lot of other places because rain wouldn't be as a huge issue as it is at other venues.
Or it's an option too for a rental venue. People can have, you know, their wedding ceremony, they can have a reception of using it.
Yeah, and I think to Tom's point, like
Yeah.
having all these things written down in a plan and estimating usage, even if we can't do it today,
Yes.
we could grow into this and have these different groups of people, and it's not just affecting kids with skating, it's affecting seniors for pickleball, it's affecting all of these things, that it'll help our community do all of these things, will give people that story that they want to feel good about, something got a ribbon.
Maybe it's something if we get a new rink attendant, he can keep attendance.
Definitely attempt to. for sure.
Yes.
But even, yeah, if we take it even on skate night, we do a, like our family skating night, we do an attendance there.
We did pretty, like the last, when we did it last year, we had a full rink out there.
Yeah.
Like that, it was
Mhm.
jammed.
It was.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
think
you
if
could,
there's a place for them to go, the kids are gonna go.
you could steal numbers from like movie night, like there was
Yeah.
huge people in the park, like,
Mhm.
we're gonna put a roof over their heads, we can do this more often, like,
Yeah.
steal a couple hundred people. Or whatever it was on movie
Or
night, there's
even-
lots of things we didn't grab, but I think we just need to put that plan in.
You had the roof, we wouldn't have been rained out so many times. You could have had it underneath the venue.
Well, there's all sorts of things that'll go with this that we'll have to input, like to prove our point, because we were gonna update the electro going to this thing, so we could have, we can have music nights out there. I mean, there's all kinds of uses that we've talked about that we could use it for.
So I think that goes along hand in hand with the drawings, is the
Mhm.
business case of
It's the
what we
starting
want, so that this is what we want, and now shop it out for all the different grants that may come available.
I know it's a tall order and it'll be a tough one for council, but we just gotta pick away at it, little at a time. And that included, were we gonna look into the park, Will, for the more playground equipment or no? That was a discussion last time too.
Yeah, we had it on our list before for
Yeah.
possible expansion.
Expansion.
I think that was part of the strategic plan.
Yes, that's what it was, yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to see next year in the park besides benches and garbage cans?
That, to me, is a priority to get that done.
So we did start a reserve of $500 because we are gonna have to bring somebody in to inspect the equipment. So I believe for 2023, we're gonna contract somebody in.
Because we had issues last year with garbage, right? And no place for people to sit. You bring your kids there, you gotta stand the whole time or bring a lawn chair.
And we also talked about finding a way that they can get wheelchair access across to it, because right now, they're not.
That's right, yeah, it was either paving a section or a mat,
Paving a section in or something.
one of those rubber mats put down or something.
Yeah, something,
A walkway from
or
the
a walkway
road.
from road access or something like that. There needs to be something.
Is there anything finalized for the bathroom upgrades?
Oh, in the shop.
I believe it was just part of the strategic plan as well.
Is there like a strategic plan document that's being produced of all the ideas that were there, or what's
We're
the,
just taking all your ideas and we're building with it. We're building one.
is there like a plan for it to come back out, or?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Is the other thing that would, is a storage building for the rec stuff. Because it's kind of all over the place. Some of it's in the museum right now. Some of it's here in the basement, some of it's in the fire hall. It's kind of not an easy access plan.
Yeah, I think we need to, they've been and bought some containers and some buckets and they're color coded, so at least we can get down to the basement. Some people can get down to the basement and try and sort through what we have. Like what we have for Halloween, what we have for Easter, what we have for Canada Day, and get it sorted, so we can just go down there and say, yep, and let's go.
'Cause I got a price last year for, what was that, 16 by 20, Will?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was a storage shed, one of the, I believe it was Hickory. They had them on sale and it was a really good price, but if you had that, we thought we could use the room next to it, but the fire department's got and people and the pumps stuff is in another room. We really don't want to be opening it up to parents and stuff or kids or whatever. So if we had a building off to the side there or behind the pump, we could make that, put it in there and have all your socket nets in there. No more tearing them down and rebuilding them every year. Just put them in.
Yeah, if you're tearing them down every year, put them back together, I don't know how long they'll last.
No.
It's a big investment, right?
Yeah, and we are gonna have to find a new place to store those next year.
Okay. Wade's Landing Dock, was there any repairs there, Will, that we're aware of?
So Wade's Landing dock is, we just have reserves starting for the docks, the boat launch. So we have 2,500 going in every year.
For each?
Wade's Landing, I believe there's nothing at this time.
For each dock or
No, that's just one line item
for all of them?
for everything.
Well, the one's brand new, so it should last a while.
Yeah. Chapman's Landing though.
That one, I was just gonna bring up the point of that. That one's getting pretty rough.
So Chapman's Landing, Road Super and I went down and looked at it. We are gonna have to do something with the small dock that people climb up to get off out of the water. And we're gonna have to get a company in to do a study, because we figure probably in the next 5 to 7 years, we're gonna have to be looking at the main dock. So we're gonna have to do some kind of studying about what's underneath the dock, like the ground,
The footings and all that too?
Yeah. to drive the new footings in. But we do have to pay attention to that small dock and the ladders in 2023.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we are gonna have to put something in there. Because we do have a lot of people that swim and dock their boats and canoe and kayak.
And the last one will be McQuabi.
So in Quaddy Lake will be the removal of the broken concrete and stuff, and then just leave it as so. And then we're gonna have to look at the new parking area at Niagara.
So if you put a boat in, you're gonna have to put a boat in there and drive all the way around to Niagara.
Unfortunately,
And there's,
we don't own any property or anything on.
yeah, is there any room at Niagara to put something in there or is it too difficult? We don't know.
I don't think we've looked that far.
Yeah, I'm really. We looked at some parking opportunities down there, but that was about it.
They haven't gone to look at lake depths or whether you could put a boat ramp in there or not.
I know it was discussed at one time, but it was just a discussion. I know parking's been an issue at McQuabi. I believe in the past.
Yeah, it's tough to launch your boat and then have to get somebody to go take your vehicle somewhere else.
Kind of related, all of these things, we had talked at one point of kind of doing a committee road show to all of these different things and whether we
Yeah.
need something in the budget, like we talked about a minibus or something.
A road trip?
Add in the budget for all these.
Okay, some of the older people have been around here longer. They know where everything is and have been there. For me, I've been to McQuabi boat launch only to get water out of the lake, never paid attention for boats or anything. All I wanted was water for a fire. But other than that, like, for me,
I think there's even a different perspective when you're there as a group, just seeing and looking and pointing at different things as opposed to, like, I mean, we could all individually drive to these places too. It's, I think it's the group going and saying, here's what's happening here, here's what's going on, and pointing out the things that you might not see on your own and kind of get the different perspectives of what.
We can always make a plan to do that this summer.
I just think we need a budget for any kind of something like that.
Yeah, because we, a tour of everything. Is there anything else under the budget items, Will, that we're
I think
missing?
we got a good start. A couple more items will come up here shortly under events for 2023.
Sorry, I know we passed it. So just an idea for the Chapman's Landing dock. So you'll be doing you'll be having somebody to come in and look at that. So then maybe when you do look at it, you can also look at if it's more beneficial for us just to put a floating dock system in there. So that's then the height of it isn't going to be an issue to climb in and out. We won't have to build two-tiered dock systems to get in and out of the water.
That's a really good idea, and that's what all the government docks have
Yeah, because
gone to.
they're lifted out, they're set aside. The elements, they're not getting frozen in, not shifted by the ice.
Like, I know the one at Wade's Landing, they don't even take it out,
No way.
it's there. But the difference with Wade's Landing is the water goes down so low,
Mhm.
that there's no water. It's right on the bottom.
Yeah,
By the time the winter, it's a different story in the river, there's a lot more water there, so.
because I mean, for us, even in the, like with Firewise, we use the boat ramp to access for water come winter mainly. So I mean, that height is quite the height. So in your based at the elements of where the water is sitting that year, whether or not you can use that dock.
No, I think the floater's a really good idea. And again, that size, I think you could just take it in and take it out.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're not fighting with, costs for getting studies done to go on the ground. You're not fighting with digging permits to go when you can do it.
Environmental permits, the MNRF permits, you're
Yes.
gonna have to get, yeah.
So.
If that's it, then we'll move. Will has a schedule. Everybody I assume has a schedule.
So just going by the talk about event pretty well every month, we pretty well have to have a meeting every month. So we thought maybe it was a good idea if we could hammer them down for 2023 like we do on council meetings, so everybody can plan. So sticking with the first, second Monday of every month, depending on if there's a stat day or.
Everybody's good with the time.
Seven still works for everybody. Nobody wants it different for 6 or anything like that.
Okay, then we'll move on to events list for 2023.
So what we're hoping is maybe we can get somewhat of a list of events for 2023, so we can try to input it into our newsletters or anything, if we need to arrange subcommittees or who's taking lead and. So let's just start right from January. I believe the talk was nothing this January. Because it's number one, short notice. Number two, the carnival in February. Does that sound about right? So February, we have winter carnival, which would be February 20th. Sound about right? Okay, March.
Not that we had anything necessarily.
No, there was nothing listed for anything else, except for Canada Day. And was there anything ideas for March? for an event or activity or?
It's a pretty busy month for kids and
Oh, yeah, March break.
March break and stuff. I don't particularly think we should do an event during that month.
Well, that might be we'll bring that back up when Stephanie's here, because I know maybe she might
Yeah,
be interested in something like that with the March break, because
Yeah,
maybe some kind of a March
during
break.
the day. Or
Yeah.
Get the kids out of the house kind of.
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. April,
Easter, yeah.
to do the Easter egg hunt again?
Yeah.
Mhm. That was popular.
May,
I wonder if this might be a good time to maybe do a movie night or something.
If you do it late in the month, your super black flies out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe other black flies.
Well, that's one of those, May's
again,
like one of
May-
those silly
So I
seasons,
say
right?
that, but then we're still looking at pretty wet grounds. depending on-
Or snow. I mean, how many times we've had snow on May long weekend?
Yep.
I don't know what else we would do in May other than that.
Did you dance with the kids or something inside?
Yeah, I know that's another thing that Stephanie really was looking at.
Yeah, like step dancing or square dancing or something.
Mhm.
She wanted to.
We were like kid, like that, yeah, dance night. She was even thinking for adults too.
Oh, yeah.
You could probably do the artist thing,
Mhm.
the artist thing. Remember, she was supposed to do the draw.
We didn't have enough for that.
No, that was Sean. He was running that one, and there was only 2 people that put in.
You needed a minimum of 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Okay,
no.
well, that's some good ideas
Yeah.
for, because one of the line items is programs, which we had budgeted 5,000 and we used 21 in 2022, so. So I just wrote down a dance, art, line dancing, kind of for May. Was there anything for June?
I mean, we're getting into soccer being the summer months, right? Like, I don't know how much on top of soccer we want to try and drag them back out.
Are you looking at doing soccer again?
Yeah.
Yeah. You spend a lot of money on it. We should be doing it again.
Soccer. Was pretty well June, July.
So we went, like, okay,
No.
do the first week of August.
It was mostly in June and July. We didn't have anything else.
No.
Soccer.
So I know we were talking about the archery, Will, where could you put that
Archery?
in? Maybe in August?
August, we also talked about, that was the best time for movie night if we're doing movie night, right?
Sorry, just back up one in July. Were you looking to do Canada Day?
Yes.
So Canada Day, there is a line item of 5,000 for the budget. And this year we used 1,500. So we could get some more events. We could do a little more fireworks, some options.
Well, Canada Day, we generally have a band, but we couldn't work it out last
Or
year.
a DJ or.
Because if you're gonna do that, then you gotta start now booking a band. Because that's what we run into last year, that we waited way too late. So if Canada Day is a thing and they want music, then you're gonna have to book it real soon.
So we're meeting January 9th. Should we be coming prepared to think about who's gonna do the lead up for all of these events? Like everybody kind of try and take 1 or 2 events that they're kind of owning and taking and reporting back so that we can get some things booked and a little bit more focus as opposed to kind of the ideas that come up and maybe never actually get booked things.
Yes, and what you're interested in, and taking the lead.
Obviously dragging other people in with you, but just have someone kind of driving home so that every week they can kind of give that update of where things are. 'Cause like, even with the movie, just making sure we know what date that's gonna be and getting them what movie we want and all that.
So I'll
jazz.
just do it as easy.
Yeah,
Yep.
go back to when we had it last time.
Because that's something we'll have to look into really early. Like,
Another one, you gotta start looking at it or you're gonna get,
The only other recommendation I have this time is to have a backup date right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's where we made that mistake last time as well.
but if we book it like, you could keep the backup date right in August.
but we can, yeah, we can do it the weekend after.
Yeah,
Could, yeah.
It's ideal, like the 19th, back up the 26th of August, and we just go start talking now.
So that's
Yeah.
all, but yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Are we gonna do the trunk sale again?
yeah,
Was that September?
I think so.
I thought we were thinking about a spring cleanup or like one in the fall, one in the spring.
Be done.
Well, that's something if we didn't have anything in May, if you guys wanted.
A
Maybe
lot
look at
of
one of
long weekend in May, the May 2/4 weekend, they do a lot of garage sales.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that might be perfect opportunity.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I wrote that down for me.
I don't mind running one of them, but I don't want to run both of them.
October will be Halloween. November.
Why don't we aim for like spaghetti or tonight or something in November?
When did we do spaghetti last
I
year?
don't remember.
The movie night,
Yep.
Yes, movie night.
because we were out of fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were-
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Same, you could always do spaghetti night in March too.
Yeah, that's an idea.
It's cold,
It gets people in the
dreary,
house.
crappy. Here's a place to go.
'Cause by that time, people are coming out to winter
Mhm.
and being home.
and no further.
And we might even, maybe we try and arrange, like, if we don't have any COVID or anything else going on, maybe this is where we try and arrange that, you know, we're talking about euchre tournament nights or card nights or something for the adults. You know, maybe we just do once every 2 months or something where we advertise and say, let's go. Because they're great fun if you do them, right? If you do them, and then as you, whoever wins, you switch tables and they're a lot of fun. And that gets the adults like.
In December, the Christmas run. And then, would you want to do anything January of 2024?
What did we say for November though, anything?
November, dinner night, dinner, schedule dinner, I just put dinner night. Until we, that's more,
Or again, that could be your euchre time that you mentioned. Your
Yeah,
Like we
That'll
could do
change.
a euchre and then dinner and euchre. You know what I mean? That happen.
Trivia night.
Trivia night? Yeah.
Mm.
something.
no, I see fights.
I hate trivia.
We
Why?
brought
I'll
up
try.
trivia in previous meetings,
Yeah.
and with how serious we discussed with how serious people take it. It's, yeah.
But
It's really, we used to go to the one in Powassan before COVID. And I mean, it was huge. You couldn't get a table. They turned away, and I mean, when they finally went to the rink in the summertime, but they could only do that for twice or 3 times in the summer, but they still had, I don't know, 70 tables of 8 people at each, or 6 to 8. It's big, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible. The two ladies that do it for Powassan, they did it. It's a really lot of work. I know the curling rink is doing it now in Powassan. Trivia night, yep.
Well, because that's what we discussed before was everybody having, you'd have to have somebody dedicated to proofreading all the answers because there's arguments over the answers being right or wrong.
It was really interesting because in Powassan, they just said, the lady that ran it said, whatever I say goes.
Okay.
If you say, then no points, and they just decide, oh, no point for you. It's simple, like, and it was really simple,
Okay.
you
I
know,
went
and,
a couple of times, yeah, it was that simple.
yeah.
You didn't challenge her.
Yeah,
okay.
No answer was it.
What about
Then done.
next question?
I mean, there's also online companies that do it if you put a little budget to it as opposed to the heavy lift of it. Like, there's other ways of looking at doing that thing. And then you could also then include people who don't want to come to the building and have it in the community too and do different things. Like there's options that are.
That's right. I remember doing, I think I did Italian schemes last year.
Yeah.
They did that.
You don't have to have the huge lift of researching and doing it all. Have it blame the person on the computer.
Mhm.
It's their problem. That's their problem.
I remember we were talking about building back boxes. That might be a good thing to do in March,
Mhm.
because that would be, get the kids to come out,
For kids camp,
kids come out, build a bat box, have some fun with it, and then May's just April's around the corner and put them out.
yeah, they did bad boxes and birdhouses. I remember Home Hardwood.
I tried,
They might really want to get involved with that.
I tried real hard last year to get Home Depot to help me out. And they claimed COVID, and then they said, no, they're doing it themselves, and they never did it either, so. I even asked them just to, if I could buy the kits.
Right.
To do them here.
I
It's
think
funny
that,
because Rona right now, I've been in another Rona so much lately, and they have those kits, so some of them are cars,
Yes.
there's birdhouses, there's
Birdhouses.
flower things,
Yeah.
and they're like $8.99 a piece. a job.
We did that through the school
And so-
and they were
amazing.
free. Home Depot gave it to us free, like 100 boxes.
And school has no more power than,
Right.
see, you're the municipality.
But again, if we have the money and we raise the money, and if we say, let's say we have $4 a child, we've got $4 a child to play with, and we say the parents coming in, it's $5 a child, whatever it is, it's worth it every penny.
Just keep in mind too, you got the pot, empty.
Yeah, the empty money.
the other option too is rather than going to buy the kit ourselves, buy the kits. If we talk to somebody with, that has a mill, and we just mill a few boards and cut them up in the actual sizes.
Yeah,
There's
make our
lots
own
of
kits.
plans online.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. And then we just build one according to measure, have the measurements, and we can go, okay. No, we can pre-cut the pieces of wood into the sizes and make our own kits rather than spending. Because that costs you $2 rather than $2.
Yeah, I mean, as we just said, we're like spending like $1,500 to $5,000 budgets. Like,
Yeah,
I think we sometimes corner ourselves into doing nothing because of budget, and then we're well under what we spent.
Sorry, just we'll keep back on track here. January 2024, was there anything?
I think we can plan that like July, August kind of timeframe of resetting what our next year is gonna be.
We have nothing going on this January, right?
No,
Right,
because there's no time, so that's, if you have an idea for 2024, we can plan it in 12 months. Now, the card night or trivia nights, when were you looking at? Like once throughout the year, or every few months, or?
If you did cards, yeah, I would do it in your cold months, your inside stuff. So if you did it once a month, you find somebody to run it, they could do euchre 1 month, crib the next, I don't know.
even if you did it, tried it in March, and then if it works. And, I mean, it's successful, and run with it, go as often as you want.
Yeah.
And that could be a good thing for November, because November usually sucks as far as
Yeah.
you can't do anything.
If you did want to do a trivia night, I would be totally willing to take that on.
Oh, a crazy woman.
She was on a really good team.
It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
So if you, I'll help you with trivia night as long as I don't have to answer any questions. If I'm willing to help, don't make me answer any questions. So I would help you. trivia.
So at these events, crib night, euchre night, trivia night, will we be selling popcorn, anything
I
like
would think
that?
so. Yeah. Coffee.
Coffee?
That was the other fun part, trivia night.
It was.
They're so big.
I was gonna say they're licensed.
They're licensed,
Yeah.
and they spend a lot of money.
Yeah, so about that. liquor
There's
application.
limited number of smart serves in this township.
So sorry, just listening to you all saying this trivia night's a lot of work and stuff. Do we want to pick a month to have a trivia night? Since you're talking how much work it is and everything?
I think if we're talking like, I think February with the carnival is gonna be enough. If we started off with euchre as kind of a March kind of first sort of secondary kind of event, and then April as your trivia kind of month, then you're getting people.
Well, you got Easter. and-
Yeah, I mean, I think I think
Easter's
we're,
pretty easy.
yeah, like I think we're having like
Easter's
secondary
not
kind of
hard
things.
at all.
Easter's for the kids, trivia nights for the adults in April. Like I don't think we can shy away from a couple of things in a month if it's different audiences and
Right.
So
different.
April trivia?
Yeah.
Is that enough? Is that a realistic?
Because we still have a lot of Easter stuff from last year downstairs. I haven't filled up.
And I think you have different people in subcommittees organizing these things too, right? Like it's,
That's the tough thing, finding the volunteers.
Yeah. Because I think.
Finding the help.
Bring all this forward back in January.
So is it April trivia?
I wrote it down in April, yeah.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is we'll have this all laid out for the next committee meeting in January. And like it was suggested, we'll
Take it to me.
pick some leads and some help, kind of things that we can watch for throughout the year. If we need to purchase things and nail down some trivia cards and stuff, so there's no, people can't blame cheating or anything.
does the township use any like online calendar systems that you can subscribe to so that it just shows up to people's phones where?
So we did start an event page on the website that we're hoping to, but on as it links, I don't think it does.
Like,
No, but if we have something like how we're going about this right now, and we're kind of, it's not set in stone, but it's set in stone, if that makes sense. It's not hard for myself to, do up the month, and then, I mean, we could put it on our Facebook page, and like, this is the event happening here and here and here. Whatever.
I just looked to like a
Or-
Google Calendar where it's subscribed, and anytime you add an event, it automatically comes up. Like I follow the NFL Raiders. I get the schedule on my phone every year. And it just repopulates. I don't have to do anything. It just is there and it tells me, hey, this is coming up kind of thing, alerting me. Where
It will work for some, it would work for you and I, it might not work for.
well, and I mean, the Facebook would work for someone else. Like I think
Right.
we have to target different groups, right?
Well, what if we put it out there as an invite, as a meeting invite? Put it out there as a meeting invite, and if you choose to put it in your calendar, you choose to put it in your calendar, you choose to do that. Right? And then that way, if I choose to put, like, literally, that's what I've done, is taken these calendars and I'll put them in a meeting invites in my personal calendar. And then a lot of people send them to me and say, hey, Shelley, and then I put it in my Google calendar.
So what we're gonna do is take all these and we'll have them all on the website. First, we'll start with no dates, then as the community pick dates and stuff, we'll keep it updated. So like for February, we'll start advertising Winter Carnival. More details to follow. Start getting people hyped up for it and get people talking about it.
I just think that puts the onus on the person to go find it as opposed to if you subscribe once, literally for the next 10 years, you're getting the events things, right? Like it's a 2-minute thing to set up that I think would make a lot of sense. We could add in the council meetings, we could add in all these different things,
That
one
may be
Nipissing.
something for a new website and stuff.
It's not even a website thing though. It's literally just a Google Calendar. Like it can be set up literally in 5 minutes. It's not a cost thing. It's not a time effort thing. It's literally just, you put a link on, you click subscribe and it just automatically goes in. So like on my phone, I have like 15 different calendars. I have my personal one. I subscribe to the Raiders schedule. I subscribe to all these different things. And anytime someone adds an event to that calendar, which is just a public calendar, it just shows up and I can just see it.
Pushes to you, right?
Mhm.
It pushes to you, you choose to put it in your calendar or not.
Can you do it on a computer? My phone's
Yeah.
14 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
on your computer. You can go and see, you can click into it. If someone updates what the description is. We can continuously update that and it's always be populated. So whenever you're just going and looking at whatever calendar systems, whether it's Outlook, whether it's Gmail, whether it's whatever, it just is there so you can see what's going on.
For somebody who doesn't have a computer or phone though, how do they find out about what's going on in the township of Nipissing?
Newsletters.
Newsletters? Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I think it's got to be in like
That goes up
15
with-
different
We
places.
try to send stuff out to school as well.
Mhm.
The events, if we do have flyers, we post them at the stores, the post office.
Okay.
Maybe just an idea or not. I mean, you know how like, or say our park area or by the lake or something, you know how there's like, some places have bulletin boards, but that they're covered, so that they're like
Mhm.
weatherproof.
We talked about.
Yeah, we were waiting to find pricing on that.
Oh, wait, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Right, that's in the strategic plan, right? That's in our strategic plan. And that's a very good place for people to go to, right? Where they can, all of the community events can go up there.
Mhm.
Because I think we have to replace the sign. Wasn't the sign?
I believe we thought about the park and maybe check and see if we can do some of the landfills by the recycling bins or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Another option, maybe on a smaller note, is what if we even made a couple small boxes that we put one on the outside here, one on the outside of the township, one of like just small ones that we just slip a flyer, put 10 flyers in it. Somebody notices that they're empty, we drop a couple more, just with the events that come up, and then people eventually over time will get to know that, if they don't have internet access or follow it, they can just go up, grab a sheet, then they know what's going on.
Mhm.
The other thing too is we have the board at the community center here, with the one at the fire hall, and we are putting one up at the tower out on 522 as well. So we'll build advertising.
We usually do have posters in the various post offices and different things in the area, so there's lots of different.
Yeah.
kind
Well, thank you. You gave us quite a bit to work on.
I got one last thing. Where's Amanda having on the go for next year?
Well, we're pretty busy right now. We've had a busy fall, but we're kicking off the year with a New Year's Eve dance.
Make sure that we're aware of it so it can go up on some of our boards.
And I shall
It's been posted
contact
on
Will.
Facebook and we just keep sharing it. Every time I see it pop up on my Facebook, I share it.
Yeah,
So I'll liaise with Will on this.
you can, yes, please.
Actually, you could
To Kristen.
go with Kristen. She does the websites.
Okay.
Website.
Yeah, because that's what I always seem to miss anything. Even though I subscribe to the command thing, I seem to miss everything that happens out there. It'd be nice to, if we knew more about it. For events and
And
stuff.
probably the thing after that will be the spring dance. And we're probably looking at garage sale, and then we're still noodling our summer's cake.
Yeah,
You guys have a Christmas bake sale going on out?
Just last night, we had our community turkey and dinner.
Okay.
Parking lot's been full a lot lately.
so when you schedule your yard sale or trunk sale, or whatever you want to call it, you work with us or we work with you in May. Yeah, see if it can work together, right?
That's what I want to see here, some bake sales. Nice and easy down the road.
Now you're talking about.
I know, that'd be great. I might have to look into that. Maybe I'll post somebody to come here, open up, see who all be interested.
There's one of those things you could get somebody to come and teach baking or teach how to make cookies.
Well, I don't
or-
know that far. I just want to buy it.
Have anybody used her?
Past the
Steve-
hostess.
I don't know his last name. But Steve's wife does a pasta. And she'll, yes, thank you. We should maybe think about her. She would love to go and do something. She comes out and teaches. She'll go into your home and teach you how to cook an entire meal and pasta from scratch.
Maybe something that you can do for the following January, not this one, but the following one. Because that's something that's done inside, right?
Yep.
Teach a man to cook, not burn stuff. Okay, if that's that, and the next meeting is already scheduled for January 9th. Is there any issues or any conflicts? Seeing none, we'll move on. I need a mover and a seconder for adjournment. Kathy and Tom. All in favor? Unanimous. And thank you very much for everybody coming.